What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl, for another video. We've already talked about Tabitha Brown. We talked about Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist, which is literally those. Both of those videos are just one topic. I did talk about Kiki Wyatt a little in the Young Thug video because I wanted to talk about what her son, who looks just like her, came out and said. And you know what I always say: just wait until the children get older; they will speak. They'll tell you who their parents are. They'll tell you what their experience is of their parents. And you actually don't have anything to say. Because I think about, first person I think about is Jackie Christie's daughter, Chantel, who came out, and whatever experience she said she had with her mother, people are saying that wasn't your experience. Even her sibling is coming out telling her that wasn't your experience. Even though multiple siblings will tell you, each of them have a different relationship with their mother or father or parental caregivers or whoever, because each of you have a different personality, so each of you require a different relationship, right? I had to get my youngest son out of thinking, oh, you do this for him and you don't punish him this way and you punish me this way. That yeah, y'all have different punishments because y'all are different people. What like, for instance, I can punish one with taking away PlayStation, right? This is when they were younger. Taking away PlayStation. Um, and the other one wouldn't care if you took away the PlayStation. So you think, well, you don't take the PlayStation away from him. When he does something, no, I take something else away from him that he cares more about. You care about the PS4. He doesn't really care about the PS4. So if I punish him by taking away the PS4, he really doesn't care. You care. So that's why the punishment is more effective for you. I literally had to explain to him that you and your brother are not the same. You have two different personalities. So your punishments or rewards, they are different and they're going to be different, right? I have a different relationship with both of my sons. But one thing that I did learn, and I learned this from a coworker who was like, the one thing, like, talking to other moms and stuff like that, consistency across the board, right? Even though the quote punishment and rewards look different, you have to be consistent with both of them. And then because otherwise they'll see like, oh, he can get away with this. He doesn't even get punished at all. How come he gets away with stuff like that? How come I don't get away with stuff like that? You understand what I'm saying? So last night, my youngest son made these tofu sandwiches. They were he, cut the tofu up, he grilled them, seasoned them, and everything. But I don't know what it is about making sandwiches. When somebody else makes your sandwich, it just tastes so much better. What is the psychology behind that? I wonder what it is, because I know I'm not the only one who feels like when someone else makes a sandwich for you, it tastes better. The only thing that he missed was red onions, but he put lettuce, tomato, pickle, mustard, mayo. Did I say tomato? And then it was on sourdough, toasted. I was like, and then he served it with a salad. I said, come on, kid. Come on, kid. He made a salad. It had Kalamata olives, feta. I don't think it had any tomatoes because he put tomatoes on the salad. So I don't think the salad had any tomatoes. But it was so good. The dressing was so good. I have this lemon shallot dressing that I get at Whole Foods. It's so good. Just put it on your fucking lettuce. It's so fucking good. And I was like, when I got to the pickle, when I tasted the pickle in there, it was so, I was like, kid, you have made the best. I think this is better than every meal you have made, this sandwich. And he was like, he gets real excited. He started going to the side. He'd be like, thank you. He's so cute. He'd be like, thank you. He's an Aquarius. Him and I, we're always fussing at each other, like me and my father, always fussing at each other. But he's still very like caring. Like we have conflict, but it's not like a big conflict. It's just always because Aquariuses have their own minds. They're like Virgos in a way where they think everything is like, this is stupid. This is not. This is stupid. Why would they do this? This is dumb. Everything is stupid. And like Virgos, they say so Virgos and Aquarius tend to fuss with each other because they both have ideas of the way things should go, and what like things. I'd be like, that is so dumb. Why would you do that? Like yesterday, we went to go pick up our groceries at Sprouts, and he was in the back seat. He jumps in the back seat out of habit. He don't jump in the front seat, but out of habit he jumps in the back seat. So I told him, when we get to the store, the lady is gonna person is gonna come out with the bag with your bags, and so I want you to get out and help her put the bags in the back seat. He gets out. When he sees the lady, she only has two bags, mind you, because we just needed to do a little haul, and she has two bags. He gets the bags and puts them in the trunk instead of putting him in the back seat with him. Now, I like him in the back seat with him because my other son, what he does, he'll go through the list of what I bought to make sure I have everything, and he'll go through the bags and make sure we have everything. So I told him, here's my phone, because you do Instacart or whatever, and you have the list of everything. And so I said, here's my phone. Go through my go through the list and make sure we have everything. So then he had to get back out and go. So instead of bringing the bags over from all the way in the back to the back seat, he got out of the car, opened the back, and got them out instead of bringing them back over the front seat. I said, I'll be thinking to myself, girl, whatever, let him do it the way he knows, because to me, in my head, I'm more efficient, right? So think I don't think you should get out of the car and go to the back and open the back and then bring the car. Just pull them over the front. They can reach into the back from the back seat. So just pull them over. But he got out. And for him, that was the smartest way to do things. There's things that he does that I'm just like, girl, that does not even make sense. Why are you doing it like that? And I feel like whenever I see somebody doing something what I deem the hard way, it like frustrates me. Like, why would you do it like that? I'm miss efficiency. The quickest, easiest, most efficient way to do it that way. I don't I don't reward adding extra steps to make it look like you're doing something else. Do it the most efficient way. Don't do it the long way. If there's a short and efficient way where you're not actually cutting corners but taking the shorter route, then that's what I reward. Like, I like efficiency. I don't like to look at you and you're like adding more steps to something and it doesn't need, like, you literally could have reached in the back seat and brought the bags over to the front seat. But you got out of the car, and I told him, I said, is it hard for you to follow instructions? And I don't think it's hard for him to follow instructions, but I think as they get older, they kind of want to do it on their own. Like, I'm kind of like, it's a little rebelliousness in what they do. Like, you tell them to do it a certain way and they literally will not do it that way. And for me, looking at teenagers and knowing how I was as a teenager, and remembering how I was as a teenager, I understand, like, oh, you don't want to do it the way mommy told you to do it because you want to do it your own way. Even though it's more steps, you want to do it your own way. So then I said, do you not know how to follow instructions? I said, get the bags from the girl and put them in the back seat. And that's when he was like, oh, okay. And then he got out and got the bags, got out of the car and got the bags out of the back, lifted the hatch and got the bags, and then brought them to the back seat where he was sitting. A mess. So speaking of kids, I always say the kids will speak. Your children will give you a Yelp review when they get older, and as you should always ask for Yelp reviews from your children. So every now and again, I check in with them, especially when they were younger, so I could be the best kind of caregiver that I could be. I ask them, what do you like? What do you don't like that I do? What do you like that I do? I learned that in corporate America, start, stop, continue. So I employed that into my family dynamic where I asked them, because yes, I'm a caregiver, yes, I'm a mom, and yes, I get the final say in things, but I don't want them to grow up thinking that they don't have a say in things. Especially how they're raised, right? Don't you wish your parent? But we grew up with parents that thought that whatever they did was the best that they could do, right? That's the best I could do. Okay, well, you didn't do great, and I'm telling you, didn't do great. A lot of parents see critiques of their parenting as disrespectful, so you don't even get to actually say, like, this is what works for me as a child growing up. where they're like, this is how I was raised and I turned out okay, which you didn't, but I turned out okay. I think a lot of people think okay is not being strung out on drugs or homeless or something like that. But a lot of y'all are not mentally okay. And a lot of y'all are thinking that the way that you were raised was okay, when you really need to be in some therapy to heal those wounds that you learned on how to relate to people, how to navigate things like that. I know a person who believes that the way that they were raised was okay, but you hear the way they even speak to their animals, that it's just like, you were not, it's not okay. The way that you were raised, you're not okay. You need therapy. And so a lot of people think that the way they were raised, because they quote turned out okay, um, they can and then go ahead and continue the cycle and teach that to their children. Instead of being a cycle breaker, you are a cycle continuum. So we want to get out of, not checking in with our children and allowing them to tell us, to critique our parenting, because like they say, it doesn't come with a book, but the people that you are parenting can tell you how you're doing, right? And you should make it a safe enough place to where they're not lying to you and telling you that you're doing great when you're actually deeply affecting them and creating wounds that they'll have to be in therapy for when they become adults or when they have access to therapy. So I believe in checking in with children because they will talk, right? And so Cuckoo Wyatt's son, came to the front and is talking about his mother. And I want you to hear what he has said about his mother.
You're dying if you were diagnosed with cancer as a teenager and your parent decides to publicly announce your diagnosis for personal gain and attention, but behind the scenes saying that your diagnosis is karma for you being a part of the alphabet mafia. And if they known that you were going to turn out like this, they could have kept their money. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and stitch this video real quick. I wanted to clear up a few things. I was not expecting this video to go viral the way that it did. But yes, the person that you're thinking it is this person. Unfortunately, they were collateral damage behind my truth. And I shouldn't feel bad about telling my truth. You know, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I decided to hop on a TikTok trend that I thought was relatable. I was touched by all the stories that I was seeing. And I thought, why can't I tell mine? I know I'm from a public light, but at the end of the day, I'm still a person. Unfortunately, it's coming across that I'm bashing this person, and that's not my intention at all. That's the way that the blogs have picked it up and are spinning it. I wanted to start vlogging. I just didn't know when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it. But I saw this trend and I was like, I just wanted to come on here and stitch this video to do it because I never know who I'm going to help by simply telling my story.
That's it. Yes,
I
yes,
want to say
son.
thank you to everyone that's had something positive to say. And if you're
Yes.
in a situation like this, it's going to get better. You just got to keep fighting until you can find your way out. And from that point, you can start your healing process and you're going to be a better person. And you can't let the negativity stop you in your tracks from getting to where you want to be.
Come in.
It's something real reckless, I'll just block you. And then you can work for it. You can work to try to get to my page. You won't have easy access anymore. And this is not going to become a bashing page to do it because I never know who I'm going to help by simply, this is not going to be a messy page. These people will come up in conversations because they're tied to me
My
in some
life.
kind of way.
Yeah.
But all I will be stating is truths. What I will be saying is not going to be messy. It's just going to be my interpretation of what I went through. Hey y'all, so this is my first official TikTok, I guess. So I'm just still trying to figure this stuff out, trying to figure out how to explain it without boring y'all at the same time. So for starters, I'm doing okay. I have my ups, I have my downs. It's definitely been an emotional roller coaster for me. I've been gone now maybe 6 months. So I still got some stuff that I'm trying to adjust to, and learning how to heal and to grieve all of my experience with them. So, if anything, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Hell no, I can't sing like her. At most, I'm a good shower singer. I carry a little tune, but all that hooting and hollering, can't do none of that. You think I'm handsome? Hey, y'all, thank you. That is so sweet. But honestly, as far as the clip, I definitely kept it real light with her. I refused for her to get me out of character and try to paint the narrative that I'm this bad person when honestly I was just demanding respect that I was owed. I feel like no matter your age, there's just a common level of respect that you're owed.
But because of the patriarchal, hierarchical parenting styles, parents believe that they are better than, higher than, smarter than, do not require you to respect them. They believe that you're lower than them. Like outside of women being lower than men, children are even lower than women in this hierarchy of parenting and this patriarchal style of relating to people. Like literally Matilda, and when she was in the car dealership with her dad, and he tells her,
Listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm big, and his little short ass Danny DeVito, I'm big, you're small, I'm smart, you're dumb. That's how people believe that children are. And that comes from, you are to be seen and not heard. Don't speak until you're spoken to. Lay there as I beat your ass. Don't you move. Don't you cry as I'm beating you. Like literally telling a person not to cry as they're being harmed. Lay there and allow me to harm you, right? If you say any critique of me, you're being disrespectful. The only person who is allowed to disrespect you is your parent. Allow them to disrespect you. Never defend yourself. That is their idea. That's the ideology of thinking that a child is less than you or lower than you. Do you understand? So that's why he said, if I come out critiquing what my parent has to say, now I'm being deemed as I'm bashing her, right? I'm bashing Kiki Wyatt, where Kiki Wyatt needs to be bashed. And he has every right to, just like he said, I have every right to share my story and my experience of this person. If you wanted a different story told, Kiki, you should have treated your son differently. Using his cancer diagnosis for public sympathy, but then behind doors telling him that he got cancer because he's gay. Over the head! Over the head! That is nasty work. I would never speak to your funky ass again. I don't like parents like that. And then as soon as he comes out to tell his truth, because the shame and guilt keeps you quiet, right? But the truth will set you free and set other people free. That's the reason why I said, I do have to tell the story that I've been through. I'm not going to allow shame and guilt to silence me. And I'm going to rip the mask off of this person who everybody believes is this great person. I'm going to rip their mask off. And I did that by creating a channel because I knew eventually I would tell my experience, share my experience with my parents, share my experience with my siblings, share experience of people who I've been in romantic relationships with, right? Y'all didn't hear about the narcissist relation. That was the last relationship. I said, oh, I got the final boss, a narcissist. And that was the time that I was like, you know what? These people are socialized not to be effective positively in relationships. They're not positive. They don't have positive effects in relationships. I'm not going to put myself through that again. I had the final boss, a goddamn narcissist. And the only reason why I speak about him now is because I got secondhand information that he was no longer walking this earth. That's the only reason why y'all got y'all would get snippets of him, but I would never talk about him because I know how narcissists. It doesn't matter their their it doesn't matter who is saying anything about them. They love positive or negative information given about them. Um, let's see what some of the comments say. It says Kiki Wyatt's 23-year-old son, Raja Key Morton, is accusing his famous singer mother of using and exploiting his cancer battle for attention. Allegedly, she told him he was diagnosed with the illness as karma for being gay. In 2017, Wyatt announced her son's cancer diagnosis in an Instagram post. In it, she also told her fans that she planned to shave her head in solidarity with her son. Morton, who was diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia, now updates that he's in remission. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Since his diagnosis, he successfully underwent chemotherapy and beat the disease in 2018. On Friday, September 5th, Morton decided to join the put a finger down TikTok trend and made the allegations about his famous mother. He claimed he thought the trend was relatable and wanted to share his story. He added he's not bashing his mother at all. He just wanted to start vlogging and thought this trend was a perfect start. Let's hear.
Got a job in corporate America. I've been doing that and just trying to figure out what makes me happy and not pleasing everyone else around me that could care less about me. So honestly, I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. I feel like she's called us way worse, but I'll let you fill in the blank. A lot of the stuff that she has said, I refuse to repeat. That's something that she's got to hold on to and that she's got to
Nasty.
deal with. She's not going to get another voice to say that. Y'all ask me some more questions. I'm going to talk. Hey, y'all. So I guess it's time to talk about this show. First question that I...
All right, let's read some of the questions. Y'all should have known she wasn't right in the head with all them damn kids she has. Anyway, that's another thing. And she finally, what's really unfortunate is that she kept having babies, and I think she's done having babies because the last baby has some health issues, some developmental issues. I don't know if the baby is um not autistic, just has some developmental like milestone delays, kind of like Krishan's son. Um, and she's like having to like literally care for this baby more because it has special needs. I'll say that. And I think she is really upset about this last child, just based on the things that I've heard, clips that I've seen of Kiki Wyatt while she's caring for this last baby that she has who has special needs. She does not sound happy that she had this baby. But I think she also had a breeding kink where you're having all these babies because one will stick around with you and be around with you and allow you to talk to them crazy and stuff like that. But out of 7 kids, you are going to definitely have one gay child, and you're definitely going to have a child who rejects everything you have to say and will fucking leave as soon as they no longer depend on you for their survival. I think Kiki Wyatt is whack. I do. She can sing, great, perfect, whatever. But the halo effect doesn't work on me with that. Yes, you can sing. Yes, you sound beautiful. Like, I mean, her voice is beautiful, but you're a goddamn terrorist and you're terrorizing your children. And then they feel like they have to deal with it and turn into people pleasers in order to control your fucking behavior. Cuckoo Wyatt. She seems the type that loves to be pregnant but doesn't actually love being a parent. Let's normalize exposing family toxicity and stop sweeping it under the rug like it's supposed to stay in the family. I'm glad he's speaking up and telling his truth. And yes, you did know the video would go viral. Your mom is Kiki Wyatt. Stop it. Go to family therapy, child. We got too much going on right now. These kids don't understand that this is for the family to fix. His actions can affect her finances, which is bad, especially if she takes care of him. I'm voting that down. So this is him doing a reverse exploitive opportunistic move because of who his mother is. He had no choice in who his mother was, but he does have a choice to share his story of how he experienced his mother, whether she's a public figure or not. He has every single right to speak up for himself and tell us the experience that he had with his mother. If it affects her pockets, she should have chose a different way to show up to her children. This is not a flex. Go heal. And then you have the people that will literally show you they don't give a these kids. That's a grown man. Raja Morton. Let's see. Kiki Wyatt's kids. He's the second oldest, so he's seen it all. And then her mom is a racist too. Her white mother is a racist.
And I can't give him his medicine. I just don't want him to have a seizure.
Understand that? You wouldn't have life if it wasn't for me. Boy, if you get up, it's done, and I mean it.
Well, I guess it's done.
How many kids is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think she has 10 altogether. Yeah, 10, 11 kids. And she was pregnant again. I don't know. That's just weird. That getting pregnant over and over again, having that many children. I always, I always think that it is. Have a good day. I always think it's weird. So that's all I got to say about Kiki Wyatt. I don't have anything else to say. Let's go see something else that's happening on the blogs. And I really don't want to read the comments because what? Okay. And sometimes your parents are your first bullies and your first enemies. I don't like the relationship that a lot of black people have when it comes to their children. I don't like the Asian perspective, the Latino perspective, the white perspective, the black perspective, all treating kids as if they are second class citizens, as if they don't have a say or autonomy. You heard Ricky Smiley say that the child doesn't have a choice. The child needs to go with the parent no matter what the other parent says. Fortunately, the family courts will, when the child, in California it's 12, I don't know what it is in other states, but they will let the child decide who they want to go with. I don't want to go to my dad's house anymore. They will take it out of the court order. I don't want to go over there anymore. Remember that man who was watching his 20-month-old son and punched him in the stomach because he was getting on his nerves? But just picking him up, he's a good parent by just picking him up. And the child doesn't have a choice. He's not, if they, the more they cry, the less they piss, is what Ricky Smiley says. We know Ricky Smiley is on the docket, right? For possibly having a relationship with someone who is underage, who he has a baby with now, and announced that baby on the anniversary of the death of his other child. Ricky Smiley ain't shit talking about being a good parent to somebody. And obviously, PJ Washington is a good parent because he came to pick the child up. Yeah, and like that man with the 20-month-old punched his child in the chest and perforated his intestines because he was getting on his nerves. You ain't no better, you motherfucking twisted mouth ass nigga. You ain't no fucking better. Kids have a right. They should be taught autonomy, agency, speaking up for themselves, having an opinion on different things. They should be provided that right and access. All right, I got to go take Maxine to go use the bathroom. She keeps coming in here like she's communicating, like she has to go use the bathroom. So I'll be right back to finish this video because we're going to go on to another topic. I didn't even know the VMAs were last night, but I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Terrible. All right, I'll be right back. Let me pause. Okay, we're back. Oh, I need some lotion. I need some lotion. I should have got some lotion before I came back on this motherfucker. Okay, let me get some lotion and then we can. All right, so we're back. Oh my God. I have to go take Maxine out so she can use the bathroom. And then she was running up the stairs, but she when she got to the top, she tried to skip the last step and she fell back down. So I think just her little bones just getting older, you know. But she's been running up the stairs. She's been doing good. No seizures. Um, let me ask my son, did he give her medicine? When I tell you, shout out to Rox, because she on her story, she was talking about how Siri is not effective. It's not as effective as it used to be. It used to be more personal, and I think people used to play around with it, you know, a lot. And used to play around with it a lot. But now it's just like it all just automatically sends you. It's almost just like a search engine that you can talk to. Ooh, oh my God, this smells so good. Girl, what? This is orange runts. Orange runts. I didn't even take a. I could hold on. Go back. Oh, is it lit? It's lit. I'm lit. What did Karen say? I'm lit. What does Karen Huger and a joint have in common? They lit. Okay, let's see what else is going on down to the blogs.
I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
Trump says things that take place in the home they call a crime. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say it's a crime.
I think they can define something. If a man, it's more than 87%, virtually nothing, and much lesser things that take place in the home they call crime. You know, they'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say this was a crime. See, so now I can't claim 100%. But we are a safe city. You can walk to a restaurant. You can walk to the White House if you work there. You can walk to the Capitol. And even the Democrats, I can't believe it, but they don't want to admit it.
What comes to your mind when I talk about the most unsafe place for women? Some public space, perhaps? A place where they are vulnerable and at the risk of harm? What if I told you that women are the most unsafe at home? That home is the most dangerous place for them. I'm not the one saying that. The United Nations is. Yes, this is appalling and heart-wrenching. The figures will send shivers down your spine. These are bone-chilling findings I'm about to mention. You see, one would think when women step out of their homes is when they would be unsafe because, you know, home is where they should be and should feel the most safe and secure, right? Where they can let go of their guard, where they can just be. Unfortunately, that is not the case. As per a United Nations report, 85,000 women and girls were killed intentionally by men in 2023. 85,000 women and girls. And it gets worse, by the way. 60% of these deaths were committed by someone close to the victim. Imagine. How heartbreaking, right? This is infuriating, to say the least. The report released by UN Women and the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, that is UNODC, shows that in 2023, 140 women and girls died every day at the hands of their partner or a close relative. You know what that means? One woman killed every 10 minutes. Let me just say that again. A woman killed every 10 minutes. In fact, the figures show that globally the most dangerous place for a woman to be was in her home, where the majority of women die at the hands of men. The report sheds light on the global crisis of femicide and calls for urgent action. In fact, according to the report, Africa recorded the highest rates of intimate partner and family-related femicides, with 21,700 women killed last year, followed by the Americas and Oceania. Femicide, in case you weren't aware, is defined as the gender-related killing of women and girls.
But I can't believe it. We could do the same thing in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. We did it. We saved Los Angeles.
The best thing for women to do is not to get married to men. Not to be in a relationship with a man. I'm sorry. And you probably, like, oftentimes I think about it. Like when I'm telling women or men to like be mindful of the relationships they have with men, especially women. Do the femicide rates. There is a study that says that the most dangerous place for a woman is in her home when a man lives there. Domestic violence is a crime, but men want to be able to, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't even be fighting over what is it, no fault divorce. I just don't get married. Just respond to the laws by not getting yourself into the system that is governed by these weird laws. That's the key. If the system you want to participate in has really fucked up laws, then you should not participate in it. I've thought about moving to Texas because of the cost of living, but the laws in the South are so like, let's figure out a way to put somebody uh in jail so we can get some free labor out of them. That's how I feel. Like, I've lived in California my entire life outside of 7 years. Okay. And in 7 years, when I was in Atlanta, I was I had been put in handcuffs. Now, I was put in handcuffs um when I had thrown something out of my car, like in a road rage type of situation. I had threw something out of my car, and the cops were called, and of course they couldn't find what I threw out of the car as evidence, so they uncuffed me. But I was cuffed. Yes, I was. But then in Atlanta, I was actually cuffed and put in a jail where I had to get bailed out, girl. Yes, for a failure to appear for passing a stopped school bus. And I forgot all about the ticket. I got stopped and forgot all about the ticket. I was actually on my way to my first day of work, and I was speeding and moving fast. And then I ran past the school bus, and a cop pulled me over, and I got a ticket. I forgot about the ticket, and then it was something else I had gone. Oh, I went to court. I went to pay a ticket for a parking ticket or something, and I was put in handcuffs. When I tell you, my life flashed before my eyes, and that was the day I was like, I got to get the fuck out of the South. I'm not. Y'all are not gonna try to get me in this fucking system. I don't participate in none of this stuff. I have lived my life so I don't have to be put into any systems that are governed by these whack ass, weird ass laws. If there is a law that says you can't get a divorce, don't get married. Unwind your motherfucking eyes and realize that the laws don't protect you when you're in a relationship with a man. A lot of women see that day in and day out, down to the courthouse trying to get restraining orders. Restraining orders are not granted, and then the woman comes up dead in 2 weeks. So don't put yourself in a system and legally bind yourself to a man who, if he wanted to harm you, right? Because the studies show that the closer you are to them, the more violent they are to you, the more of a detriment they are to your life. So if you want to ignore the numbers, ignore the research, ignore the statistics, if you want to ignore all of that and listen to this slovenly sloth of a president, this white cis male hetero, we winking on hetero Christian, we winking on Christian too, because we know they use their Christianity to oppress. It's a separation between certain church and state. It's not, because the patriarchy runs both of them, church and state. So there's no difference. And if a man wants to put laws on the books that govern a woman's body, that tells you what you can and cannot do, you're under oppression. And then for you to be desiring to be in partnership with your apex predator, that is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It wasn't, I think it was in the 70s when they took the law away that a man can sexually assault his wife. There was a time when a man could actually rape his wife and no charges be brought against him. It doesn't work like that anymore. But that's just a recent law that was taken off the books. So you're in a system where you don't even have rights, where if you couldn't even get a divorce from your husband if you wanted to leave. And if they're trying to bring that back, the way that you respond to that is by not getting married. I know that you want to satisfy the dream that you've had since you were 9 years old, but sweetie, you do not have to participate in systems that have weird laws. You don't. The law is weird. There are laws that are against you in a marriage. And then they get mad when they have to split money with you when it's time to divorce. They're willing to kill you so that they don't have to pay alimony. Like, we see the stories, we hear the stories. And all this time you're craving. Ask yourself, why do you crave? Why do you desire to be in relationship with, where studies have shown there are so many women who have been on the other end of it, that they have to have research and studies, and y'all want to ignore the research and studies and think it won't be you until it's you. And sometimes I feel bad because I feel bad because you're probably thinking, Erica, well, you've had your experiences with men. You were able to figure out that this wasn't the path for you. Yeah, with my life, I say I got out alive. I really feel like my son's father would have killed me if I stayed in Atlanta. I truly, in my heart of hearts, it would have, it's either going to be me or him. And he has access. I mean, we all got guns, bitch. But he broke into my house, made a key, was breaking into my house, stealing stuff, breaking shit I would find years later. When I was moving, I found so much shit of mine that was broken, that he broke out of jealousy. And can you imagine? I let this man crawl between my legs and he was jealous of me the whole time. I had 2 children. For a man who was in competition, who actually hated me, the way that Martell hates Melody. And that's why I feel like Melody's life is in danger, and she needs to get her a fucking firearm and show herself at the range, getting a dead bullseye heart shot or a head shot on that motherfucking paper, and let this nigga know that she is ready to take his ass out. Come over here fucking with me, I'm taking whoever out. I'm in Alabama too, bitch. I would get a firearm so fast and be online at the gun range to let Martell know, come over here fucking with me, nigga. I will take you out of here. I will send you to glory, bitch, and put your ass on a shirt. For what's her name? Marlene. What's his mother's name? Shirlene? Oh, that's Rashida's mother's name. Marlene or something like that. Oh, I would have Marlene printing up shirts for you niggas with clouds and wings on your back, motherfucker. I honestly, truly feel that I would have ended up. When I tell you that man hated me, I knew he hated me. I wasn't romanticizing it. I was like, oh, he still wants me. No, he's fucking with you because he hates you, and he's always hated you, and he's always been jealous of you, and he's always been in competition with you. And then for some broad to come behind me and shake her finger at me and literally tell me I wanted her life. Bitch, you didn't last 5 years with the motherfucker. You became a seeing eye dog. Not one time has that woman come to me and said, you know what, I am sorry. I apologize. I should have never taunted you, degraded you. I should have never done that. I was wrong and I'm sorry. And what you experience, I experience a semblance of that. And I apologize. How many women have gone back to the woman you shook your finger at after you done got with the man she left and shook your finger at her? You owe that woman an apology. Go apologize to her. Fix your karmic debt. Fix it. Because you demeaned a woman who got out with her life. I literally feel like after I had the final boss situation, that I got out with my life. I'm like, when Kevin Samuel says, y'all left over. Yeah, we left over and alive. And I got out with my wits about me. I got out and I decided, yeah, I was in my early 40s, but I decided, oh yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to play these games. Even knowing, like, this is where the deprogramming comes in. even knowing, you have acknowledged and you have looked. That's why I thought it was so weird for everybody in the comments to be against Brittany Renner when we've known that people have, you know, issues when they dropping kids off with their fathers, and women acting like they have never seen it, never experienced it, and so much so to be on his side. Calling her confrontational and a narcissist. She wasn't confrontational at first until she took his stuff to the car. At first and then it was something that Brittany did. She was like, she went like this and she was like, pause. We're not about to do this every single time you pick him up. We're not about to do this. I don't think she was confrontational at the beginning. It was when her mother said, go, are you going to take him his stuff, like his little backpack? And then she went to the car and was talking shit. And that's when it became confrontational. And then he turned around and told his son's grandmother to suck his dick. And everybody in the, it's her, it's her, it's her, it's her, it's her. Because we do have a problem with women who seek out men for money, even though that's what you've been taught. He's supposed to be a protector and provider to you. He should have some money. And for people to demean women when they go look for money out of men, that's because the men with no money don't have access to that woman. That's the problem. Monogamy helps men who should not have access to women have access to women. That's what monogamy does. And y'all end up in relation. Look at Kelly Farrell and look at the man she married. That motherfucker couldn't even press his goddamn suit and get it tailored before showing up to the altar. These niggas can show up any kind of way and you will still marry them and let them climb on top of you. It's the women who need deprogramming. Dude is really trying to justify domestic violence. I mean, he literally changed from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Like, what kind are you like? How old are you? When I tell you, this is the image that I get of that garbage pail kid that's melded into a couch, eating snacks and shit, and then a IV of soda going into his veins. That's his garbage pail kid. But I literally see Donald Trump as a little pasty white kid with Kool-Aid stains on the above his lip, right? Dirt under his nose from the snot that's dried up and the dust that has flown across his face and landed underneath his nose. The little stride right shoes and his little fat legs with his little blue veins showing through his little fat legs. That's what I see him. And I see him walking through a playground. And in the sandbox, all the kids who have built something, he comes through with his little fat pasty legs and his little Kool-Aid stained lips and dirty snot under his fucking nose. Fat fuck walking through and crashing everybody's sandcastles down and laughing. The adult version of him is from Pee-wee's Playhouse. What's his name? Francis, motherfucker. Entitled little bitch ass motherfucker stealing people's bikes. Even though he's rich, can't go and find his own fucking bike. Wanted to steal Pee-wee's bike. Oh, I didn't do anything. That's the epitome of that's the older version of Donald Trump. Fat pig. And it's so disgusting that evil men like that live long. It really disgusts me. You live a long time to create a bunch of chaos and confusion. You know how long it's going to take to fix all the sandcastles he done punched down with his fat little legs, his little chunky fucking legs. That's all I see is those little stride right white, those little hard bottom stride right shoes, just dirty and gray. And his little fat legs and dirty socks just going through, punching the little buildings down and laughing at it. His ass. Let me hush. Girl, guillotine. Guillotine. And then what makes it even so egregious is you fucking bitches that fucking follow after these men. Ugh, you disgust me, two treasonous ass bitches. Take your pussies away. You don't deserve your pussies, you fucking cunts. This video is not going to get monetized. Kiki Wyatt responds after son accuses his parents of saying his cancer diagnosis was karma for his sexuality. I I will publicly address this one time only. And she puts Leandria Johnson, Better Days, as the music. I love my son and I love all my children. Yeah, you love your children. And you claim you love gay people, but let one of those gay people be your children, all of a sudden it's karma. Your cancer is karma. I believe him. I believe him. I believe, because I hear the way she talks to everybody. I hear her talking to everybody the way she talks to everybody. Fucking cunt. That's exactly what you are. You telling your child that his karma for his cancer is karma for him being gay? I love my son and I love all my children. I love all people. Anyone who truly knows me understands that there's not a homophobic bone in my body. Like any parent, every day is not sunshine, but my love for my children never changes. I kindly ask that you respect our family, keep us in your prayers, and allow us the privacy to move forward in peace. Love y'all. Kiki, cunt, cuckoo, cunt, Wyatt. I don't like abusive parents, and I don't like parents who don't take responsibility. I don't like parents who think that you're supposed to respect them and they don't have to respect you. I believe every word he said. He said that shit. I believe it too. Let's see what these comments say. It's crazy. No amount of anger could have me telling my children they deserve cancer. That's sickening. We know she said that shit by how she responded on that rap show to that girl. She's definitely highly judgmental. Kiki, let me shit on you and degrade my family in peace. Amen. So, in other words, she did say that shit out of anger. I hate when they ask for privacy after doing something so fucked up. It's crazy for real. Now you want privacy, but but not when you told Ibri about his about his health. Sorry. Your son added us to the group chat, but your lack of response speaks volumes. What a narcissistic response. To try and hurt your child that way is insane and disgusting. So many people have said this about her and her behavior. Shame. Y'all remember when in-house family problems stayed in house? Jesus, Devontae, Christ, take it back. So you want people to be abused in private. Is that what you're saying? Because that's usually what keep your problems in the house means, is keep the abuse behind closed doors. So that's what you want to happen again? You want people to be abused behind closed doors and never come out and say that they've been abused? Nah, we saw how your mom spoke to him and seen how you handled it. We believe him. Spoken like a true mother. I be wondering, like, that's I said, everybody ain't raised the same, baby. Everybody ain't raised the same. And some people don't want to raise their children the way that they were raised because how they turned out, how it made them feel. They remember what it was like to be a child. They remember. I gotta go. Let's do one more topic. All right, that was neighborhood talk. Let's go to Hollywood Unlocked. Oh, I was just on Hollywood Unlocked. The neighborhood talk. Okay, let's go. Kiki Wyatt, girl, go to hell. Okay, let's see what else is happening. So the VMAs were last night. I didn't watch it. Oh, I do want to watch Charlie Sheen's documentary on Netflix. I think it comes out today. Let's see what the blogs say. When does it come out? It says Charlie Sheen opens up about sexual encounters with men for the first time in a new memoir and documentary. Says his experiences with men began when he was using crack. That's where it was born or sparked. Charlie was passing around HIV and was still not arrested. Note to self, crack makes you gay. The pipe had him wanting more pipe. It's so crazy to see how differently he's being reported on compared to others. This man raped Corey Haim and infected multiple people with HIV. That's right. Blaming crack on your sexuality is crazy. No, it's to me, it's evident that sexuality is fluid, and whatever you get pleasure from is who you will have sex with. That's what it really means. Like whoever he's getting pleasure from, he's having sex with, doesn't have anything to do with his sexuality. It's who he's getting pleasure from. So if you want to call that all sexual, pansexual, whatever you want to call it, a full smorgasbord, I don't know what you want to call it, but it tells me that sexuality is fluid, and whoever you get pleasure from is who you will have sex with. That's where I'm coming with it. Let this been a black man, the comments and outrage would be even crazier. That's actually not true, because there's plenty of black men running around spreading HIV and having sex with men for crack, and nobody says anything. They actually will accept him back into a community with open arms. I feel like there's plenty of black men running around fucking for crack, fucking niggas for crack. And they don't, hey baby, let me tell you something. They don't have to be under the influence. Once you realize these men don't like women and love dick the same way you love dick, the same way you need your motherfucking eyes unwound, because you so in love with dick that you will lay in the most vulnerable state with your apex predator. We have all done it, and we need to unlearn it and stop doing it. But you come from a space where everybody says we don't care what happens in their bedroom, but everybody's concerned with what people are doing with their genitalia. As long as you don't bring it over here. But they over here lying to y'all. Girl, Charlie was, yeah, we got that. We want justice for Corey, both of them. Right. The crack didn't spark it. You've been wanting to crack. Just made you not care enough to do it. He's not gay. Every dude I know wants dick when they go skiing. I don't know, but literally it's a thing. Man should have zero airtime or press. He should be in jail for essaying young actors like Corey Haim, for holding sex workers hostage at his house, for knowingly infecting others with HIV. The list goes on. He should be. He should have some charges brought against him. He should. I think that would be fair. Corey Haim was my favorite out of the Coreys, out of Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. Corey Haim was the cutest. Oh my God. I thought Corey Haim was the cutest thing. And then when I found out, I mean, like as he got older, the drugs, he stayed on drugs. He was on drugs when he was younger, but it was the childhood. They steal their childhoods from them. Hollywood is crazy, and then ran by men, and you know how men act, and you know how men are, taking advantage. Look at Puffy, taking advantage of everybody they come in contact with, using drugs to disable people, taking sex from them without consent. It's just, but that's my man. That's my man. My man. My man. Your man is a gutter snipe, passing around HIV. I do want to say I'm very interested in Charlie Sheen. I thought Charlie Sheen, even his character in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you know how he was just like this bad guy sitting there like, that's Emilio Estevez's brother, and Renee Estevez's brother. Can you imagine that being your brother? You nasty. A lot of y'all have brothers around here sucking dick for crack, taking cock for crack. Cock for crack. Wow. My God, today. Anyways, I gotta go. I'm gonna go have me some. I want some peppers. I have those little sweet peppers in my refrigerator. I'm gonna go do peppers. But I have a key lime little little frozen cookie with key lime. It's key lime 5, like ice cream cookie with key lime in the middle. So good. One of them probably ate it. I shouldn't even get my heart set on it, because if I go in the freezer and it's gone, I'm gonna be like, curses. Anyways, I done lot to get out here. So take care of each other, protect your energy, protect yourself, reevaluate. I know we see people online. I'd be seeing couples online. I'd be like, oh, that is so beautiful. They're over there dancing together. But we don't know what's going on, right? In the background. We don't know. We only see the highlights of a person's life. Not everybody is privy to the low lights. But when we get glimpses into the low lights, like the Kiki Wyatt situation, people murdering women, people like this young thug situation, we need to call it out. We need to talk about it so people are able to identify it. Because the way that you're socialized to literally run towards your apex predator is really upside down. Everything in this system is upside down. It is literally the way that the world is out of order. And it's the women who need to deprogram, to be deprogrammed in order to restore order as true leaders. And that's why you can't blame everything on men, because we birthed them. And we have to be mindful in upholding things that harm us ultimately. Decentering men is probably going to be the energy that brings more life to the situation. Father time is death. Mother restores and renews. So that's the order of things. You want to be in order with nature. The men are not the leaders. We just saw some dogs in a kennel, and the pack leader came, and all the dogs were like getting out of the way, bowing down. And I said to myself, I don't see any testicles on that dog. Unless that dog has been, what is it, neutered. I don't see no testicles on this dog. What is this, a female dog? Because the assumption is that the pack leader is a male dog. I saw another clip of a lion, a female lion, fussing at the male lion. Why do you think all the, like, the in the male species, all of in some species, the males are like the ones with the manes, the ones with the feathers, trying to find mates for them, and the women do the choosing? So in a system of patriarchy, the men do the choosing, and that is out of order. It's literally out of order. And then when the women do choose, and they see the way that the men have been socialized, they tell them, you should have chose better. You should have chose better. Even though literally in a system of patriarchy, the man does the choosing. The woman is vying for the man's attention. In nature, it's usually the male vying for the female's attention. And a lot of the times it's the females of the particular animal group that restore order. So it really does take like a really deep analysis of the state of the world, how it's ran, the system that it's under, who is in power, who is the oppressed, and then why are you are taught very early to desire your oppressor and to keep looking for them. Even and you meet one who has patriarchal ideas, you cannot be with that person. If he is not an ally to women, do not give him the time of day. If he's not an ally to people outside of men, do not give him the time of day. You see how they're so hell-bent on the loyalty of other men, but then they cannot practice loyalty with the women they're in relationships with. It is nasty work. And people like me and other people coming down here trying to unwind the girl's eyes, we all have a different approach to it, but there is a sound that is harmonizing of women coming together. And thank God for social media. But social media also has to bring the balance of the women who are actually going against their own self-interest, trying to convince you to be in relationship with your apex predator. There's always going to be those pick-me's whirling around in phone booths trying to save men, completely going against their self-interest. Mariah the Scientist was in a relationship with Young Thug. Look at him. It's the women who need deprogramming. So take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Sound off. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my ideas and the things that are my opinions. Let me know what you think about these stories. Kiki Wyatt, Young Thug, all these people giving us examples, right? There was another story that I saw, but I don't want to read it because it's another femicide story. And yes, we see that women harm men, but start at A and we'll find out what made her snap. She didn't snap for no reason. Somebody was doing this to her. Somebody was doing this to her, and then she snapped. People don't just snap and nobody's messing with them. They've been fucked with, and then they snap. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta go. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.